It was almost midnight when my phone rang. The sudden vibration on the nightstand startled me out of that hazy, half-asleep state. You know the one. I blinked, trying to focus on the screen. The caller ID just read, "Unknown number." I almost ignored it, but something made me answer. "Hello?" I mumbled, my voice thick with sleep. For a few seconds, there was just dead air. Then, a voice, a shaky, terrified whisper crackled through the speaker. "Don't leave your room. Don't open the door. Don't trust anyone." I sat bolt upright in bed. Every bit of sleepiness vanished, replaced by a cold jolt of adrenaline. My heart was pounding against my ribs. "Who is this? Who's on the line?" I demanded, trying to keep my own voice steady. The whisper came again, trembling, on the verge of breaking. "Please, just listen. They're all ready." And then, a sharp click. The line went dead. I stared at my phone, the screen glowing in the dark. The clock read 12:03 a.m. The usual silence of my apartment suddenly felt heavy, suffocating. I tried calling back, but it was just static, a harsh, grating noise. Before my brain could even begin to process the sheer strangeness of it all, a loud bang echoed from my front door, then another, and another. Someone was outside, pounding on the door with a desperate, frantic energy. "Jacob, please, let me in!" The voice was panicked, pleading, and it sent a wave of ice through my veins. It sounded exactly like my own. My breath hitched in my throat. "What the hell?" I whispered to the empty room. The knocking grew more violent, the doorframe rattling with each impact. "Jacob, let me in!" the voice outside shouted again, laced with pure terror. I scrambled backward, away from the door, clutching my phone in my shaking hands. The device felt cold. Alien. "Who are you?" I yelled, my voice cracking under the strain. "I'm you!" the voice cried back, a frantic, desperate plea. "They're coming! Let me in before—" A sudden, splintering crash cut the voice off mid-sentence. The pounding stopped. The shouting stopped. An unnatural silence descended, a silence so profound, it was worse than all the noise that came before it. My ears were ringing. I didn't move. I couldn't. For what felt like an eternity, I just sat there, backed against my bed, staring at the door. I watched the minutes tick by on my phone, each one an agonizing stretch of time. I listened for any sound, any footstep, any breath. But there was nothing. Just the deafening quiet. I stayed like that for hours, too terrified to even breathe too loudly. My eyes were glued to the door, waiting for it to splinter open, waiting for whatever was out there to come in. But nothing happened. Slowly, painfully, the blackness outside my window began to fade, replaced by the faint gray light of dawn. The first rays of morning sun sliced through the blinds, painting stripes of light across the floor. The sight of it gave me a sliver of courage, a tiny spark in the overwhelming darkness of my fear. With my heart still hammering in my chest, I forced myself to stand. My legs felt like jelly. I took one slow, deliberate step, then another, inching my way toward the front door. The hallway was empty. There was no sign of a struggle, no splintered wood, nothing. It was as if the whole thing had been a nightmare. But then I saw it. Lying on the floor right beside the door was my phone. But that wasn't right. My phone was still in my hand. Confused, I picked up the second device. It was identical to mine. I unlocked it, my fingers fumbling, and went straight to the call log. My blood ran cold. The last call made from that phone. The one that came through at 12:03 a.m. It had been dialed from my own number. Later that morning, the police arrived. A neighbor had called them, reporting frantic screams and violent banging just after midnight. They found the apartment locked from the inside. But I wasn't there. The only thing they found was my phone, left on the floor, its screen still glowing faintly with the record of one last unanswered call. A call from me. To me. So, what do you think happened? Was it a doppelganger, a time loop, a glitch in reality itself? The scariest part is, there are no easy answers. Sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we can't explain. Let me know your theories in the comments below. What would you have done if you got that call? Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this story and want more tales that will keep you up at night, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss a new mystery. Stay safe out there, and until next time, try not to answer any unknown numbers after midnight.